broadcast to go ahead. It's going very slowly.
Yeah, it's gone. I think it's gone from my end. Yeah, it's got
It's on
YouTube.
your end?
So
Beautiful.
yeah,
Excellent. Okay.
awesome. So alaikum everyone, and welcome to our webinar series, Healing from Addiction webinar series um, for Back to the Future Mentoring Academy. Our topic this week is spiritual journey, or the spiritual journey to healing from addictions. Sorry, I had to write that down. And I am really excited to be here. I've got here today with us, or today with us, we've got Pamela and Aisha. And as I said, I'm really excited to be here and to share this with you all, that spiritual journey. And I might actually just start off the top of the rank, in that spiritual, knowing that we are all on our own spiritual journey, whatever that looks like. Healing happens in the most amazing ways that is especially designed for each and every one of us. Those with addiction, those people with addictions, it's no different to anybody else, And I think that that healing is when we let go of the negative thoughts, because you're already automatically in your fitra. And what happens then is that you're already in the space of being happy. And really that's what it's all about, not getting stuck in the cycle, or the cycle of, whatever that is going on. A lot of it could be, I'm not good enough, especially if you, I think that a lot of it comes from that, or something else. Pamela,
Yeah.
you're off. Yeah.
We each have a different sort of crutch, as it were, in our pattern of thinking can be slightly different. But
Mm,
at the end of the day, we are just sort of caught up in that thought storm, and we find it difficult to be able to get out, or
mm,
see our way out. Yeah, yeah, alhamdulillah.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's what we're here tonight to sort of talk about, how to, navigating that, you know, being able to see through that, and creating lasting change within your life, or for if you're supporting someone who has an addiction.
Mm,
I would just sort of like to remind people that, of course, this session is recorded, and secondly, it's being broadcast to YouTube, so you can, of course, put your camera on if you wish, and be fully interactive here in the room with us, or you can keep your camera off. You can even change your name, your screen name, if you wish to remain sort of anonymous,
mm,
also, and you can just sort of type in the questions to us, and we will do our very best to not to keep that anonymous also. But yeah, so if you object to that at all, just let us know, or just remove yourself from the room, change your name, or just do whatever you need to do. But we just wanted to give you that
I think you
disclaimer
can
that
actually change
that
your
it is being
name,
recorded. Yeah,
yeah, I think you can
yeah,
actually just change your name in the chat somehow, clicking on three dots if you need to, if you want to remain anonymous instead of going out and coming back.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
check that
Because
out.
we are very aware that this is a sensitive topic when it comes to talking about addiction. Um, and we will do our utmost to keep this as comfortable and for you as possible. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and so subhanallah, okay. Assalamu alaikum wa salatu wa salam ala rasulullah wa ala alihi wa wala ma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa
We're
rahmatullah
all a
wa
little
barakatuh.
tongue-tied tonight. Sorry about this.
Yeah,
Walaikum
yeah.
assalam.
It's been so
Yeah,
long
it
since we've
it
all
just
sort of been
feels
together.
like, yeah,
Yes, yeah.
yeah.
Alhamdulillah,
And
alhamdulillah.
okay, so as Daniela started talking about how, our natural state is that we're already in on our fitra, like the healing is there. So really what we're searching for, like so to speak, what are uncovering is the healing itself. And I think about all the different challenges because again, like the challenges seem so real and sometimes they're just an illusion. And so the first one, like I think of, like even in the, speaking with people, the first one maybe that seems to come, I would say it's the jihadun nafs. That is the
Mm.
striving against yourself. And before this, it just used to feel that it has so much effort, especially when it says jihad, you think about something with so much effort. But then again, I see now it's that even though it's called striving, but striving not to be caught up in thinking that it has to be heavy, like because it comes with the heaviness itself. And so it's allowing ourselves to be and see that healing. And in one of the classes we've have here at Back to the Fitra, the 99 names of Allah. So we're seeing this diagram about how there's the fitra, our fitra. And so when we're close to our fitra, we're close to Allah. When we are close to our ego, then that is where the whispers of shaitan come from. And so when we're at that place, that's when it feels like everything is so difficult. And once I know the three levels of the soul, like it talks about the tranquil soul, the um the blaming soul, and the soul that is commanded to do evil. So even in that diagram, I wish I had the diagram here. So when we're close to the ego, like there's that part, that's where it feels like everything is so difficult. Um, we're constantly hearing the whispers. And from the whispers here, I think our thoughts, because everything comes to us via thought. So, things we pick up maybe from society, from media and from all that, they're also in our thinking and they're coming up and they seem to be so true. Now, when we're able to let them go, um, in which like this, so to do with the addiction, maybe it will be there are many layers. There'll be many layers, and for each person it's different. Maybe the thought, I'm not good enough. I'm not, people are mean to me. Um,
The other
any
one
kind
is
of
that
thought.
limiting belief is that I'm addicted, and I can't.
Yeah, I'm
That's
addicted. Yeah, and
yeah,
powerless. I'm
yeah.
addicted. I'm never going to get rid of it. Yeah, I'm never going to get rid of it. So it's being able to go through that journey from that belief and then letting go of the illusion to go in to see where, no, I'm close to Allah. And I think some people call it power and powerlessness, recognizing that Allah has all power. The addiction doesn't have any power over me. That was the illusion. So, so there are so many obstacles, that of the self, that of the separate realities of people, like seeing from people, thinking that somehow, because I heard from one of the clients I worked with, and he kept on saying, I'm addicted because my mother keeps on pressuring me. Like she keeps on pressuring me. So there are all those challenges, they all seem true, but yet, like when we go through them and unpack them, we see they're actually illusions.
Mm.
And I'm not belittling them in any way, because when you've gone through the journey, then you begin to see for yourself that this was actually just so easy, because Allah can make anything so easy. Of course, when you're going through it, it seems so difficult and heavy.
It's true. I was just sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
Go on, yeah, go on. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, like, one of the clients that I was helping, I actually just had a conversation with her today, actually, where, I've seen her on that spiritual journey and going through different stages and whatnot. And, there were times where it went back and forward. And for us as like mentors and coaches, is just seeing the other person exactly where they're at, forgetting about, what happened last time or whatever, but just being present in that moment with them, in that current situation. And, like they were saying that, well, now she's at the very end, like at the other end, and she's gone through all these different stages about blaming herself and blaming others, and going back and picking up and whatever it is, like whatever her story is. Speaking to her today and her realizing that she is free. She picked up her own words saying, I'm addicted, and then she goes, actually, no, I'm not, I'm healed. And I said, oh,
Yeah.
you took the words out of my mouth, because I was going to correct you on that. And she goes, no,
Yeah.
Daniela, I am, like, there is. And she saw that power in the powerlessness, or however you said it, Aisha, seeing that
Yeah.
Allah is everything, and everything else is the illusion. To hear a story and like just referring it back to here has been an amazing journey that, people who are stuck can, as long as we hold that space for them, can heal. And it's amazing to see that. It's beautiful. So, yeah, Alhamdulillah, it's a complete turnaround. And the thing is that, at one stage, I feel that she was kind of, stuck in the thoughts of, NA or AA or what, like the different steps, realizing that the way that to healing is through, having the happy thoughts or seeing that there's another way. That's where the true healing lies, and not going back and reinfecting those old wounds, and not believing that now she's still addicted. She's I can't remember the words of the from like AA. Sorry, it's gone from my mind.
Okay.
When they, I am blah blah blah, and I was addicted to, or whatever, still holding on to that thought that they're killed, that they're diseased. They're not. No one's diseased, and to see
that idea that you're never going to be free of it. Like you just have to live with it. Yeah. And for a part of the journey, it possibly will be like that. But with the transformation that we've seen with many people is that some people will drop it in an instant, and then it's gone, and they're able to move on. Then other people need to sort of it's a bit of a slower progress, and
but remembering it all, always through that, doesn't matter how short or long, that it's their own spiritual journey that is
absolutely
perfectly written for them.
Yeah.
I mean, all of our journeys are like that, irrespective of what
unfortunately some of the programs, it's just like I like to sort of use the analogy like it's a backpack. The backpack might be lighter, but it's always still with you. Like that's what other programs will sort of say. But this actually gives the opportunity to free yourself, completely free yourself from this backpack.
Yeah.
So freeing.
Yeah. And the way someone put it is, even the backpack, you think there's a backpack, but there's actually no backpack. But because you make yourself believe there's a backpack, it feels like one. And even surprisingly, even the 12 steps and all that, is someone saying it used to be more spiritual. And then, so the thing with the insight is that someone has an insight, and they share it with others. So it's meant to bring insights from each of us, not that, because the moment it takes form. So the recovery journey doesn't look the same for everyone. It's when you are aware, like, and you're listening within. So you get to so everybody has a unique journey. And, Daniela, when you said that about holding space, and that is the role, I think, of even the coach, the family. It's all that everybody has a role, and it's not in it looks different. It's when we hold space, the healing, the healing comes from within.
Yeah.
The healing comes from within, and the love we share. And I know that one of the, in fact, not maybe not just one, um, the clients here back to the Fitra, and they say when they first have the first meeting with Daniela, they come back to me, oh, I didn't know that was how it was going to be, because they have been so used to being put down like by
Yeah.
themselves and others. So they think it's another place where it's another person that's going to tell me, you are, all the labels, you are
Yeah.
doing this to yourself, you're doing it deliberately. So why can't you get out of it? All those obstacles that are in the way of the healing itself.
Yeah, that's one of the unique aspects of the way we do things. In our addiction department in Back to the Fitra is that, there's no, we're not shaming anybody. I mean, the idea is that we're all human, we mess up, we're all tested. We're tested in different ways. And, some of us who are the mentors within Back to the Fitra have been tested in what you're coming to us for.
Yeah.
So we know it, we get it, we understand it. And some of us are still tested, along the way. But it's that very unique is that, and you're right, Aisha, when people come, they're just like, the idea is that you leave our meeting and you feel uplifted. We don't want to shame you into feeling terrible. We don't want to, remind you that, what you're doing is displeasing to Allah. You know that. You know that already. We don't need to remind you of that. But what we do need to remind you is that there's always hope.
Oh, yeah, beautifully. Yeah.
There's always hope, that, it's one step at a time.
Yeah.
And for and we also, a part of the healing journey for some people is that they will relapse.
And that's
okay. And that's there's an acceptance of that too.
Yeah, it's their spiritual journey. Like there's no, it's not up to us to judge, it's their spiritual journey. It's up to us to hold that space to come back, to point them back to the door of, of the right way or of hope. Because it's really in the, it's the thoughts that come back, that go, oh, it's okay, just do it again, just, whatever it is. But they forget that happiness is within them. And
it's innate. It's there all the time. It just gets covered up, and I love that analogy when we're talking about, our thoughts. And it's like, just because the clouds have covered the sun doesn't mean that it's not there. No, it's still there. It just happened to be, just out of plain sight, I guess, or out of eyesight in that moment. And then, when the clouds lift, or when the thought storm lifts, or whatever it is that's there, then that hope is there, that trust, that, tawakkul, the complete reliance on Allah. It's all there. One of you were mentioning before that there's, that there was someone with a story, I am like this because X, Y, and Z. There's in the sort of spiritual realm of healing from addiction. Of course, there's that. It does really ring home that it's the importance of connection. I mean, in any relationships, in any modality, in a lot of, whether it's addiction or whether it's just, relationship issues or whatever, it's this, this, you're longing to be seen, longing to be heard, longing to, to connect with people. And that's another aspect that, that is really wonderful and unique, I think, with the way that we do things, is that we provide that. We provide that, real, authentic holding space, as you said before, Daniela. And sometimes, the sessions, there's not a lot of talking.
And there's healing in that.
Absolutely. There's often a lot of laughing. Which, which lightens the, the atmosphere, which is great.
exactly.
But yeah.
I just want to open up the floor as well. If anyone's got any questions, please just raise your hand, so we know. That's all. Inshallah.
Yeah, feel free to jump in and give your input. This is the first webinar that we've been running for a while, so we're still sort of finding our feet a little bit with a lot of it. So please just jump in, pop your hand up.
Yeah. We'd love to hear from you.
We'd love to hear from you. Like if you're supporting, sorry, I'm going to cough. If you're challenged yourself with an addiction, or if you're supporting someone with an addiction, please jump in, and we'd be more than happy to help you through that as well.
Sure.
Otherwise, we just keep talking.
So raise your hand at any time, and it's welcome. Actually, there's this person, that has an addiction to sweets, like the chocolates, and so it's really very disturbing to her because she knows to her what it means is that she's not honoring the body which Allah gave her. And so it's deeply disturbing to her. But because the focus on, and that's where I think the power is given too much to the addiction, because the focus is so much, I'm addicted no matter how I keep chocolates away. Sometimes I find myself driving to the shop and all that. So much focus, on stopping. So we're given, so while we're talking, one of the things that came up was, I think that was a health coach talking, said, or sometimes when you have a craving for something, it might not be that thing in itself, but so talking about the physical now, it might not be that thing itself, but your body is craving something that it's good for us. And I think that's the wisdom of even in our body. Sometimes we feel a craving, but we can mistake it for something else. So maybe I can't remember what she said the craving could be for. And then because that thing is in the chocolate, it might be there. So simply like seeing it as a negative thing that I am craving chocolate, would be looking at it in a different way. My body is asking for something. And so it's, again, so educating ourselves, because, and that's another thing in Islam, searching for knowledge, it's one of the things. So we search for knowledge. And so this is one of the things that comes up, or maybe this is what my body is asking for. This is what my body is asking for. And as soon as I said it to that person, already she knew what those things were, the components were. Okay, let me give it a try. But the first thing is not stop to be aware of when we're putting ourselves down, when we're focusing on the thing itself and giving it the power. Because again, what I think from the sessions, what we also saw was that the addiction itself is the smoke alarm. It's not the problem in itself, it's the smoke alarm. And earlier, Pamela, when you're talking about connection, there's all that, as human beings, we have that inbuilt, should I say, need for connection. And so the moment we don't feel connected, we're looking for connection, and sometimes it manifests in the form of addiction. In the form of addiction, it might be, different things. And I said, everyone has a different journey. So through going through the journey, we see that actually it's all about listening and being aware and being mindful. And so the balance, so that the balance is restored, we're giving our body its rights, there's is there a replay of this on school, please? Yeah, there will be a replay, but is it on YouTube, right?
Yes, you just reminded me I was supposed to put the link in school, but that's okay.
Okay.
I got the record. I put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
I ticked some of the boxes.
Yeah. Wonderful, Jazakallah khair. So it's really a unique journey. So it starts with this, it looks like addiction is this like a life sentence, as the people say, once an addict, always an addict, but really we're just being human. We're being human and we're going through a journey. So we're not addict, we're just human. We're not addicts,
Exactly.
we're human. And through, when you see the healing go through the family, you see everyone finding um different realizations just from thinking that they're here to support and the addict, or the, I put it in quotes, the addict, them seeing, oh, I'm also seeing realization. So it's a journey of healing for the whole family. Because when
Mm.
one thing where even as the ummah, as they said, the ummah is one body, whatever affects one affects. So of course, where is the feeling? It starts in the family. And so learning journey, spiritual journey, like a journey of healing.
And yeah, I think you just raised a really important issue as well there, Aisha, about, the family. And I think it's important as well, like if obviously the family, how can I say it? That the family doesn't see the person who is having an issue at that moment, like a thinking problem with being broken, because no one's broken. And I think that's really important for us to remember as human beings, and as brothers and sisters, is that we aren't broken, as much as what the rest of the world out there may think and say. We never are broken, never were broken, and never will be broken. If Allah tells us that we are okay, not in those words, but it's us that have got caught in the thought that, something outside of us needs to change. Nothing outside of us does need to change. It all happens from within. And when we can see that, that spiritual journey becomes easier. A lot of people focus on the outside issues that, yeah, may be a problem for a moment or for a while, but the actual healing comes from within. It doesn't come from outside. Doesn't come from, like as Aisha was saying, like, whatever you focus on grows. So if you focus on trying to stop, it's not going to work like that. It happens from an insight within. And I think that's one important part of the journey that we need to realize, is that, it's not in our time, it's not in anybody else's time, it's in Allah's time, Sorry, that just came to my mind as you were talking there, because, I see that quite often, is that families think that, something needs to change, or something needs to change in order for the others to be okay.
We have hand up.
Yeah, go ahead, Fatima.
Assalamu alaikum. I can, for me, I realize like I have this as well, and I think for my son, it's like, more like trying to unwind. Like he has a very tough, difficult day at school, and then so he needs to come home and kind of relax and unwind. Like, your mind's like how you said, craving. Like you crave something that will, just to like kind of relax maybe, but then obviously then because it's just like, it's like internet addiction. So one thing leads to another and leads to another, and then you don't know where you've like, half the day is gone, or like a few hours have gone, and then obviously then, you can see in his behavior, and then like he's just trying to find some sort of device, or like so it's just like, yeah, it's just kind of like how addicts kind of behave, right? Like you're just trying to escape, you're trying to find somewhere where you can be alone, so you can go on the internet, you can have access, and like it's very difficult, because we're trying to just like get rid of the internet, but anytime we need the internet for even like an email or something, or like talking to my parents or anything, then we see him somewhere else. And so like, I mean, it's not that we don't want him to use the internet, it's just this behavior, this pattern that needs to break. That okay, yeah, you need a break so you can watch or you can spend time on the internet, but it shouldn't be like to the point
Yeah.
that you're just seeking an opportunity.
Yeah, I think if they're coming back from school, oh, sorry, does anyone else want to take that? I was just going to say, like, if they're coming back from school, like if kids have been at school for a whole day and they've been, away from us as parents or away from you as parents, it's first thing of all is, connection before correction. So that, again, they've been disconnected from you, they've not been at home, and, listen to somebody else, talk and having to sit still and all the things that go with being at school, not in their normal environment. So, it can be that they, maybe it isn't that you need to stop them from going on gadgets. I don't know. Like, I don't know your situation. However, there is such thing though that you could do that is, connect with them in a way, that is fun, to let out, any stresses that have happened throughout the day, to help them, process the day, and then that then brings them back to their fitra, because as you said, that the gadget is an escape mechanism because they want to leave whatever it is that has gone on at school behind. Yeah, they can, but I think it's important first of all for them to come back to homeostasis, back to home, back to home, let that the mental thoughts that happen with school at ease. And quite often than not, they do. And they might, then after be on a gadget, but they might be on it for less, as long as, I mean, this is what happens at my home. We connect first, however that looks, it's different, from day to day. And then, my son, he's still allowed to go on the gadgets, but he'll naturally come off because he's connected. Once he's connected, he's fine. If he's not, then it's harder. It's going to be a lot harder. I don't know if anyone else wants to add to that. Or yeah, go ahead, Fatima.
Yeah, because actually, obviously, we knew what it looked like when he was like when he was. Yeah, like because I think it's more once he started high school and the high school is very strict and yeah, so and he's somewhat like they're very bad the rules about you need to be here, you need to do this, you need to do that, and you need to and there's comments. So I think other kids they just they don't mind, they realize it's okay if we make a mistake and mess up, but I think for him he tries extremely hard not to mess up. Not that we've put that pressure on him, but I think because he's someone who forgets a lot. So if he let go of himself, he would mess up even more than what normal people would. So he just tries extremely hard to tick the boxes. And then so to unwind, then he needs to just but also with the connection, like when we try, I guess like I have to just ask Allah to help me with that, because when we try to say, okay, put that away, will talk to me. Oh, maybe that's not what we're supposed to cut.
They may not want to talk. That might be
Yeah.
just, having a laugh. It might be through a cuddle. It might be, your children best in whatever way it looks good for them. It might be, I'm just going to say this like this, but, having a game of cricket. My son quite
Yeah.
often connects through cricket, and that's
Yeah.
his unwind thing,
Yeah.
And then once he's done that, there's a lot of laughter that happens through that. Yeah, but your son best or your children best to be able to know what to do.
Yeah. So, and then like actually it's for me as well. Like if I have like just not even a stressful day, but just if I've done like a lot of, for me more it's for productivity. If I've been very productive, I need to be unproductive. So, but then obviously there are ways we can do that without seeking entertainment, right? It's just looking for an alternative to unwinding. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if it's a
go ahead,
question or
Aisha,
if
because
it's
I
just
need.
thinking out loud.
No, that's right. Go ahead, Aisha. I just need to put my
Okay.
plug in my computer, otherwise it's gonna go flat.
Yeah. Yeah, Danielle, as you're saying, that for different children, some of them might be the talking. And so I guess even when we think we don't know, like then is to go exploring. Because we know the children, or they know, but they're forgotten they know. Because sometimes even you ask the children, they don't know anything. That's what they will say in the beginning, but that's the TV, because it's I guess it's the digital sugar. It's just so ready, like everything. It's the fantasy world is there. They don't have to do anything they don't want to. But when we begin to get curious, we'll actually find what it is. Here I guess we have the pillow fights. Sometimes it doesn't work for everyone. The pillow fights, like the jokes, the is a pool noodle things to connect, but there is just so much but for each like parent-child dynamic, it's different. Maybe it's different.
Yeah,
And
into
it's
that kind of character. Yeah.
Yeah, there's slightly different strategies that we'll use when it comes to, whether it's adults or children and things like that. And yeah, we have a great range and diverse range of programs within Back to the Future to support you with that. So when it comes to children, yeah, we have our peaceful parenting program, which also includes what Aisha was talking about when, utilizing playfulness as the tool of healing and connection. Yeah. So it's a great strategy. Mm.
Mm. Yeah, and for me, at some before coming to Back to the Fitra, it just feels I'm already doing this. Do I have to do something else again? So it just felt at some point like such an effort connecting with the children. I'm trying to get through this, and there's something else. So when I saw
Well,
my two
that
sons,
highlights the issue in itself. When we're off
yeah,
track or when we're sort
yeah,
of,
what,
pent
yeah,
up and stressed, then of course
yeah,
the kids will act up because they're relying on us. We're supposed to be that that calm place, that place where they can land and relax and
yeah,
be at peace. And so if they're not feeling that, they're sort of got,
yeah,
okay, well, I don't know, I've got a little volcano sort of erupting in here, and I'm not quite sure what I'm supposed to
yeah,
deal with it, and I'm trying to go to my safe place, and they're saying I don't have time for you right now. So
yeah.
but yeah,
So,
so yeah, so that's the
so
biggest key, particularly with if you since we're just briefly talking about parenting and we'll get back on track, is that's where
yeah.
it starts with us.
That's right.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it starts with us. And so the connection, it's actually maybe not just the child feeling connected, but we or whoever it is, whether the child is the adult, it's us connecting. So not forgetting ourselves, but it just takes sort of, and the getting on track takes care of everyone involved.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
So true.
Absolutely. Yeah, very, very true.
Okay, there was a question there, but the sister has left. She said, are we talking about a specific addiction, or even food addiction will be included? So I think one of the mantras I heard is there's only one addiction. So all addictions fall into it, because at the end of the day, it's all about the connection and the balance. And for everything, it's approaching from a place, seeking the healing, or not seeking, maybe that's a better way of saying it. But for everything, it's healing, is the healing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, any addiction is a distraction from what we're really, really feeling, or we're trying to avoid something,
The addiction,
or
yeah. The
so
addiction is
whether
just,
it's
sorry.
food, yeah, go ahead, Daniela. Yeah,
I was just going to say, like, the addiction is just the coping mechanism. There's always going to be
exactly.
something
Yeah.
behind it that is the driving force for the addiction. Once that thought kind of falls away, which it will, inshallah, then that addiction will naturally fall away as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Absolutely. So it might be a good place here to sort of put in how people actually gain help through the addiction department, Daniela. I might hand that over to you. Yeah.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. So yeah, to get help through the addiction department, we have a link which I'll actually put in the, where am I going to put it, Pamela? In the schoolroom or here? I can put it here.
We can put it in the schoolroom. We'll also have it in the YouTube
Oh yeah,
replay.
of course. Sorry, I
Yeah,
didn't.
yeah. And I mean, if anyone wants the link that's in the room, we can always put it in the chat here. Yeah.
Yeah. So that link will be to fill in a form, and then that form comes automatically to me, and then I'll be able to contact you directly, or I'll be in contact with you directly. I just want to let everyone know that if you do know of somebody, the person themselves needs to fill out the form. So we can't fill it out on behalf of somebody if they're not willing to take that first step. You know, of course, you can fill it out for yourself if you need help and support around that. But for the actual the other person involved, then that needs to come from them. Because quite often than not, or in the past, there's been forms that have been filled out and they have no idea what's going on.
Forms with good intentions.
Oh yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
they're the cry for help forms where I'm at my wit's end. I don't know what to do. You know, please help me. And yeah,
absolutely. And of course, we want to help, everybody. But it takes a first step to be able to do that. So in any case, though, that as I think it was Aisha, I said something about the first point of contact, and I actually do love to do that. I feel very humbled to be on that that journey right from the start. So I will put the link in there, and it will be answered generally within 24 hours. It's really as easy as that.
yeah.
Really. Alhamdulillah.
And it is the best. It's the softest place to land with is definitely that initial contact with Daniela.
Alhamdulillah.
It's the best place to start. Best place to start.
Barakallah fiq.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that might be a really nice place to, if anyone's got any more questions, obviously, raise your hand so we know. But otherwise, it might be a nice place to end off. What do you reckon, ladies?
Yeah.
Sisters? Yeah. Awesome.
Because we're trying to keep them to the hour best we can, short, sharp, and shiny.
Yeah. Alhamdulillah.
So it's good. So yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I'll just repeat this because I think it's so important that we understand that healing doesn't have to be heavy. In fact, we won't make it heavy at all. It's a lightness, and that's where the good feelings come from, is through the lightness, through the lightness in many ways.
Yeah. Well, there's many stories and analogies that we'll use, and they're definitely fun.
Exactly.
to explain and yeah.
That put that to my mind too, Aisha.
Yeah. So you'll have to sign up to find out what that is.
Yeah. And we all have it from time to time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, so I think we might finish it off there. Jazakallah khairan for everyone coming. Jazakallah khairan for being here, ladies, with me. And there's a bit of a bumpy session with our first one back, but we'll iron it out, and we'll get it all sorted, and we'll get back into our groove with these things. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. So anything that we've said is good is from Allah, and anything that we said is bad is from ourselves. May Allah forgive us. Jazakallah khair. Take care, everyone. And Assalamu alaikum.